Reasons, legal reason to consent. So you see, the law is made. Okay, law is made by whom? Let's come to this notes here. Legal reason. No. You can say that every country, okay, every country has a health and safety law, correct? The safety laws, and even ILO means International Labor Organization, which is in short is ILO, right? So ILO actually they release a convention. This is a global treaty, you can say, okay, treaty, but among the different countries, member to this. This means many countries representatives are there, like as a member of the ILO. So they decide and they agree to some conventions, means treaty, that okay, we will follow this one for the sake of the health and safety into our country. Is a binding treaty, among the member states of the ILO. Okay, so according to the ILO, the convention, okay, the law which is passed, or the treaty which is passed into the ILO, International Labour Organization, that is called convention. This convention is a legal requirement, you will say, okay, international legal requirements which has to be abided by the member countries, meaning the member of the ILO. In fact, from India also there is one member into the ILO. From the UK, from the different countries, they are the member of the ILO. So ILO is one of the branch of a United Nation actually. Okay, no? United Nation, UNO, United Nation Organization. This is one of the branch of a UN, ILO. So we'll see this one in a PPT in a more detail, but try to understand here legal reason. So ILO C155, article C155. So every country has a health and safety laws, and even International Labour Organization sets the boundaries for the organization to operate their business within the health and safety, okay, within the health and safety. Now, country has health and safety law, isn't it? Is true. In India, we have health and safety law, Indian Factory Act, right? DOCW Act. In UK, they have a HASWA, Health and Safety at Work Act, 1976. UK they have. So in India, we have Indian Factory Act, then DOCW Act is there, Workmen Compensation Acts are there, lots of acts are there. In UK, Saudi also labor code of practices are there, right? They also have a Factory Act. So every country there will be a health and safety law. And also international, the International Labour Organization, into their convention,
they are setting the boundaries for the organization to operate their business, operate their business within the health and safety, health and safety laws. Now, you can say if the organization, does not comply with these health and safety requirement, health and safety requirement, then there will be legal actions, legal consequences or actions taken by the enforcement body or agencies, So normally the enforcement body will come like labor inspector, factory inspector, they will come and they will verify whether you are following the law or not. Means come and they will verify. So normally you will see the labor inspector, or it is also called in India a factory inspector, factory inspector. In UK they call it a labor inspector or local authorities, or also they are called as a health and safety executive, health and safety executive. Okay. These are actually the people with the authority to verify the health and safety law. They can come at the workplace at any time without any prior notice, and they can verify the things which is a legal requirement. And if they find any deviation or breach of the law, they will give some notice. The notices are also different notices are there. So let's complete this. So then there will be a legal actions taken by an enforcement agency or body or authorities, correct? So you can write authorities also. Authority as you can say for example, or like what action they will take. So the action which they will take, that will be categorized into the formal enforcement notices or orders, you can say.
So what is this formal enforcement notices? So the first notice, if they find the organization is not complying with the legal requirement, they will, so basic safety requirement by the most of the countries' health and safety law. Who will tell me? Who will tell me? What is the basic safety requirement by the most of the countries' health and safety law? What is the basic safety requirement? Who will tell me? Yeah, safe place of work, safe plant equipment, or IITs and competent worker. Very good, Ahmed Sakir. I think you are with me, okay? And others also who are still writing. Okay. So if this safe place of work, from this, if the health and safety, this factory inspector or the labor inspector, they find some breach, they find some breach. Breach meaning they are not following, they are not providing the safe place of work, they are not providing the safe plant equipment and machinery and substances, even they are not providing the IITs, even if they are not taking care of the competent workers, then they will give some formal enforcement notice. Formal, when you say official, correct? No, formal enforcement notice. So formal enforcement notice are like two types of notice. The first notice is called improvement notice. Okay, it is a formal, actually one notice will be there, and once it is issued, it is a bad reputation. Okay, no. So improvement notice is like something like they will give a target date, without stopping, without stopping the activity, they will give some time for the improvement. Okay, improvement. So in the improvement notice, they are giving time, maybe target date, like 1 week time. Depends upon how much time can be given, which is observed by the labor inspector. So improvement will be given. And also, there is another one notice that is called prohibition notice. What is that? Prohibition notice. This is also a formal enforcement notice. So formal enforcement notice is a notice which is given, okay, which is given by, or we can say formal enforcement notice. It is given after, once it is issued, like, they will stop the activity. So this notice is given by stopping the activity with some time scale. Okay, time scale. Meaning time scale meaning target date, target date for the rectification. Target date for the rectification, or you can say for the action to be taken. Action meaning control measures to be taken. So there is two types of formal notice, that is the improvement notice, and then there is a prohibition notice. So first they will give an improvement notice, and if they will not comply within the given time, then they will give a prohibition notice. So in the prohibition notice, they will stop the activity actually. They will stop the activity. And suppose if the labor inspector came and he found that one of the machine is not having a guard onto the rotating parts of the machine. And suppose if there is air compression machine. So air compression machine rotating belt is not having guard. So that is one of the observation, unsafe equipment or machine. So first they will give, maybe in that situation, critical observation, they will give prohibition notice first. They will say, stop using this machine, air compression machine. And they will give some time, target date, that within 10 days or 5 days or whatever realistic date they will give to rectify that, to put the guard onto the rotating parts of the air compression machine. But if there are some general improvement which requires, then they will not stop. Without stopping activity, they will give some time for the improvements of that particular health and safety aspect. Now, here we, this formal enforcement is understood also. Now, then there will be a criminal proceedings. Criminal proceedings, like suppose if any accident, when the accident happens, so some legal fines, right? Legal fines will be there, some huge penalties will be given, even imprisonment, imprisonment to the most accountable person for the accident. Meaning, if the accident happens, accident may result into the legal fines, even if somebody is not complying with the prohibition notice. After that, legal fines initiated by the court. So the huge penalties will be addressed by the court. Even imprisonment to the most accountable person of the accident, meaning responsible and accountable person. So what is the difference between the responsible and accountable person? Accountable meaning the answerable person, the person who was having a accountability to take some action onto the hazards which resulted into the accident. So the most responsible and accountable person for the accident, that person may go to the jail. Imprisonment meaning jail. In jail will happen to the person who was accident or responsible for the accident. Now, also sometimes court, court may cancel, may order license suspension, meaning suspension for period of some time, suspension, or even cancellation may happen. So if you all know about the Bin Laden group of company, anyone knows about the Bin Laden group of company? Yeah. So you see the Bin Laden group of company in the Saudi Arabia, that was a very big, very big company in Saudi Arabia. Most of the Saudi Arabia's group of company. But one accident happened in Saudi Arabia, if you all remember, that was in the pilgrimage of a Muslim pilgrimage, the Makkah project. One big crane, the tower crane collapsed, and there were multiple fatalities in the Mecca. So because of that, this Bin Laden group of company was banned for 5 years. How many years? 5 years. Okay, banned for 5 years. That company was very big. That's why that company survived. But that company was almost down to the dust. Down to the dust. So lots of money was there. They survived. But the small range of companies, they would have almost shut down. Means bankrupted. So not following the legal requirement, if that one is resulting into the accident, then company may get banned for certain period of time by the law, as well as license cancellation. License also can be withdrawn by the organization. They cannot operate the business. Blacklisted. So license cancellation is also one of the consequence of non-compliance of a legal requirement. So these are all criminal proceedings. Now, civil claim. Civil claim meaning any accident resulting into some kind of disabling injuries. Like suppose there is one accident and one person got some kind of like amputation of his hand. Maybe something he got paralyzed. So he is now on wheelchair, or maybe someone got some kind of a cancer. So he will go, he will get some compensation by the company, but if he is not given by the company, insurance company, means the organization is transferring his risk to the insurance company. So insured money, as a compensation will be given to the injured person. But if he is not satisfied with that compensation, then he can go to civil court. So in the civil court, he can file a case and then he can fight for the compensation. So the compensation is also one of the legal proceedings, means legal proceedings you can say, into the civil court. The civil claim as a compensation is also one of the consequence of not following the legal requirement. Okay, no? So there is a formal enforcement notice, improvement notice, prohibition notice. Then there is a criminal proceeding, right? Criminal proceedings. The criminal proceedings could be, legal fines, huge penalties, then imprisonment. Then even you see there is a remedial orders actually. If you know about the remedial orders, like suppose if in the organization, if in the organization there is a fire accident or something happened, because of that any third party adjacent building got collapsed, adjacent building got into fire, because of your poor management fire happened, and nearby the residential habitat or maybe nearby the factory, someone else's factory got into the fire, then that losses will be compensated by you only, it will be the court order. That is called remedial orders. Like suppose because of your vehicle, vehicle transport, some public property got damaged. Some public property got damaged. Now that damage by the organization can order also the remedial orders. Can say that we have to compensate the third-party losses. Third-party losses. Understood this point? Tell me yes or no. Remedial orders. Yeah. So this remedial order is also one of the consequence of not following the law. Okay. Okay. Now you see, in a very simple way to understand that every country has the health and safety law, and even International Labour Organization (ILO) sets the boundaries for the organization to operate their business within the health and safety law, boundaries of within the health and safety law. Now, if the organization does not comply, means they do not follow the health and safety requirements or the health and safety law, then there will be a legal action, that legal consequences, you can say, or legal actions taken by whom? Enforcement agencies or the body or authority, such as labor inspector will come and check and this and that, right? So if they are coming, they will give you formal enforcement notice, for the improvement purpose. But this improvement notice or the formal enforcement notice is not a good thing actually. It is a formal, official notice. So if any organization is getting too much notices, then it is a bad reputation into the government eyes, government record. So whether it is an improvement notice or condition notice, it is a bad reputation. No client or no company will want to work with the company who has lots of. No client will any contractor or no client will be giving a tender any contractor who has lots of formal enforcement notices, such as like improvement notice, prohibition notice. This is something like bad record. And even the criminal proceedings is bad record. Now, what I'm going to ask you all in the chat box, that write everyone, write the formal enforcement notice and criminal proceedings. Is there anyone who is writing? Mohammed Nabil is writing, Ashwin is writing, Dinesh Warren is writing. Audio was not clear, Ashwin is saying. Ashwin, I just said that, write down the formal, enforcement notice. What are the formal enforcement notice and what are the legal prosecution or legal proceedings, criminal proceedings. If any organization is not following the legal requirement. Is it clear, Ashwin? So formal enforcement notice like improvement notice and what? Mohammed Nabil? Improvement notice and Mohammed Nabil. Am I audible to you? No one is typing. Who is that? Saki is saying, okay, everyone is trying to type. Okay, so Saki is saying legal fine, huge penalties, remedial orders, etc. is a criminal proceedings, right? Okay, as means the improvement notice, provision. As for criminal proceedings, the organization can face huge penalties, imprisonment for the person who is accountable and responsible. Yes, and even this remedial orders, civil claim, these are the consequences of a non-compliance with the legal requirement. Okay, no? Okay. Then Nabil is saying without stopping the activity, they will give some time for improvement. Yes, for the improvement notice. Then also license gets suspended for the civil claims and the remedial orders. So suspended and cancel can happen, you know. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, now here the same thing is written. Okay, the same thing is written, but here in the Word file I have explained you in a very different manner. Okay. So Mohammed Nabil is a criminal proceeding like organization pay huge fines and penalties and all that. Yeah. I must shock you with provision notice. Yes. So you see, the same thing is saying legal reason, legislation sets the boundaries within which organization must operate, right? So there is a boundaries, you know, after making a health and safety law, there is a national law as well as international law. National law meaning every country will have some law, as well as international law when you say it is the ILO, no? International Labour Organization. They also publish or they also issue or make a convention, you know, that law is called conventions. So convention C155, that is about the occupational health and safety convention. So that convention sets the goal setting requirement, means health and safety goal setting law, where the organization will be required to maintain or provide a safe place of work, safe plant and equipment and substances, as well as safe work method has to be, you know, given to the workers, as well as IITS, right? Information, instruction, training, and supervision, and then competent workers should be ensured by the organization. If these things are not, taken care of, then there will be legal complication such as improvement notice, prohibition notice, then criminal proceedings, fines, penalties, remedial orders, imprisonment, license suspension, license cancellation, civil claim, these things are there. Now, purpose of the law is social behavior, correct? So now who will tell me, okay, let's finish this one first, then we will have some more general, you know, basic information about the law. So now you see, purpose of the law is to control anti-social behavior. So anti-social behavior, when you say the organization behaving, you know, in a irresponsible manner, unethical manner. So for that one, there's a law, correct? The regulate conduct of society. So conduct of society meaning the society will be, you know, society will be following some code of conduct, like you can say ethical behavior will be there also among the society member. So law is there, no? We have to abide by the law, so that if we will not behave in a proper manner or ethical manner, then there will be law imposed onto us. So according to the law, we will be, you know, behind the bar, right? So law has a purpose to control the society as well as resolve the issues. So if there is any issues between the first party and second party, so according to the law, the conflict will be resolved. Even if there is some kind of a confusion within the accident, so according to the law, the just, or you can say the verdict of a court will be given, so that there will be a proper justice to the case, right? Now, so resolve the conflict. Now, set standards for the behavior. So there are some law. to control the behavior of the organization, right? And even the civilians, civilians. Like suppose you should not, steal, you should not thief, you should not, kill someone, you should not uh, do something, which will hurt their feelings and on somebody's religion, or maybe they're based on their race, color, or culture. You should not discriminate or bias, or even you can say partialities and all. So those things should not be there. Otherwise, based on that, there will be a some legal standards will be applicable, and then will be put into the legal justice and all. So these are the purpose of the law actually. Now let's try to understand who makes there's a two types of code actually. Okay, there's a two types of law. One is the civil law, right? Civil law, this is the basic. Okay, now tell me, who makes the civil law? Who will tell me where the civil law is made? Where the civil law is made? Can anyone tell you? The government, the court. Okay, which court? I'm exactly same court. Which court? So you see, civil law is made in the Supreme Court. Okay, Supreme Court, not the High Court. Okay. Is made actually made a spelling mistake, typing mistake. Let me type again. Civil law is made. Okay, civil law is made in Supreme Court, by the judges, and their benches, right? Benches in the Supreme Court. You will see there will be a judge, main judge, and with them there will be some benches. Some other judges will be there also. Okay. Now, where is the criminal law is made? Criminal law is made. Who will tell me where is the criminal law is made, and who makes the criminal law? I'm not saying again government. Okay, government. Okay, but where? So you see, criminal law is made. Criminal law is made in the parliament. Parliament. Okay, in the parliament by the member of parliament. So the member of parliament will be taking the bill, the statute into the parliament, and once everyone will be agreed, then it will be passed. So once the bill is passed, that becomes the law. Then that has to be implemented within the country, okay, and enforced within the country. So some of the law is regulated by the government itself. Some of the laws are given to some regulating bodies, okay, enforcement agencies, and they are the one who will be making sure that this law is being followed or complied within the state or within the country. Okay, so criminal law is made in the parliament, okay, by the member of parliament. So member of parliament will be passing the bill. Once the bill is passed, then that will become law. Then civil law is made in the Supreme Court, and their accident result in fatality. Where this court will be, which court you will go? Tell me. Accident result into the fatality, meaning death. Where this case will go? Where this case will be filed? Who will tell me? This is the criminal case or the civil case? That depends on the reason. Civil case. So, Tenzil is right. Okay. So the accident results into the death. It will go to the criminal case. Okay. Criminal court. Criminal court. Okay. Now this. And now let's understand this accident result in serious injuries or disability, serious injuries, or you can say accident result in disabilities or serious illness. So we go where? In the civil court, civil court. Okay. Now, when someone is going to lodge a case into the civil court because he has got handicapped or some serious illness like a cancer or something happened, this person who has got injuries, meaning who has got disabilities, meaning the injured person himself, he has to go and lodge a case, lodge a case. So he has to hire some advocate or the lawyer, okay, by his own pocket money, meaning from his own expenses, he has to fight the case, civil case. In this civil court. So the lawyer hired by the person who wants the compensation. So all the legal expenses will be there, okay, will be there by the person who wants the compensation. But unlike the criminal court, yeah, so civil case claim for compensation, yes, definitely. So who wants to claim the compensation, they will go to the civil court. But fighting the civil case will be the expense related to the civil case. Fighting the civil case will be coming under the person who wants the compensation. But unlike the criminal case, the criminal case will be lodged. FIR will be in the criminal case. The labor inspector will be you can say lodging the FIR, FIR, or we say the case in the court, and the state, the state advocate will be assigned by the state government. Okay. Suppose any accident results into the fatality or the death. So on behalf of the death family, okay, the death person family, the labor inspector will be lodging the FIR, and then the state government will be appointing an advocate to fight into the court at free of cost. Meaning there will be no you can say there will be no expense associated with this criminal case. Okay, so government will fight into the court. Government lawyer will be fighting into the court on behalf of the dead person. Okay, so if it is fought and then the guilty is proved, then the organization may have to bear lots of punitive fines, some license cancellation issues, maybe the suspension, maybe criminal imprisonment, criminal prosecution may be like imprisonment, and all that can happen. So these are some basic things which you should know. That's why I discussed into the chat box. Okay, this will not come in your examination, but it will be good for your knowledge. Now, consequence of non-compliance with a legal requirement will turn into the enforcement action and prosecution. So, enforcement action, what are the enforcement action? And there is prohibition notice, right? So, prohibition notice. Then prosecution, legal, criminal proceedings, you can say. So, fines will be there, right? Then penalties, like huge penalties by the court. Then there will be imprisonment, right? Imprisonment. Then license cancellation or suspension, right? And even the civil claim will be the consequences. Okay. Okay. So this was the legal reason to manage health and safety. Now tell me, legal reason to manage health and safety have you all understood? So what is the legal reason to manage health and safety? There is a law in every country as well as there is an international law. These laws are setting up boundaries for the organization to operate their business within the health and safety. And if they do not follow the law, right? If the organization or the employer is not following or complying with the legal requirement, then there will be legal complications, or you can say legal action taken by the enforcement agencies, such as labor inspector, is the one of the profession working for the enforcement agencies or the legal bodies. So they will come, they will issue enforcement, formal enforcement notices like improvement notice and prohibition notice. Then there will be a legal, prosecution resulting into the legal fines, or maybe the penalties, huge penalties, or maybe remedial orders by the court to compensate the losses happened to the third party, like adjacent building or adjacent residential building or any factory. So it also imprisonment to the most responsible and accountable person of the accident. So whose negligence was there, because of him accident happened. So mostly you will see most of the cases accidents root causes are the top management, because according to the experts, 70% of the accident can be prevented by the good management, meaning top management. Top management meaning director, CEO, this project manager. These are the people who are the most senior and accountable person for the for managing a good standard of health and safety. So these people mostly will be the root cause of the accident. So 70% accident can be prevented by the top management. Why? There's a reason. Why? Because the top management, they are responsible for ensuring the safe workplace, safe plant and equipment and substance, as well as safe system of work and IITS and compliant workers. And to ensure these whole legal responsibilities, they have ensure those legal responsibilities. They have resources, like power, authorities. So the CEO, director, or project manager, or whoever is the top management, they are having an authority to provide the resources to implement the health and safety, to manage the health and safety, isn't it? So resource control is given to the top management. So resource could be the money, resource could be the manpower, resource could be their time, their efforts, in order to manage the health, manage the workplace, in a health and safety consideration. So that's why 70% accident can be prevented by the top management, because they have the resource power. Resources are given to them, and that 30% is among the workers, among the workers. So workers, they have a 30% responsibility to prevent the accident. It is not, necessary that workers will not be into the root cause. Sometimes workers may also be involved. They will be also having some contributory negligence, where the workers will be also contributing to the accident to happen. So in that case, workers will be also investigated and put onto the legal proceedings. Okay, now. So 70% chance top management failure into the accident. Okay, now let's come to this legal reason to manage health and safety. So as I said, that's the financial reason to manage health and safety. So every accident will result into the loss or not, tell me. We discussed earlier also. So every accident will have a huge loss, financial loss, correct? Financial loss. So these losses are divided into the direct cost and indirect loss, meaning indirect loss or direct loss or indirect loss, meaning cost, correct? So you see, accident will always cause losses. Accidents and ill health are costly. As you saw that Costa Rica ship, Costa Rica disaster, the ship got sink, or lots of accidents. Even if you see this Bhopal gas tragedy or anywhere, any case study you take, if you will calculate the financial loss, it will be huge actually. Okay, no? Can put an organization out of business. So some of the accident may shut down the company also, bankruptcy because of the loss. Maybe legal fine, millions of business shut down, business got burned down. So some accident may also shut down the business. Some company owner may get bankrupted also. So now one accident result into a huge loss. Now those losses are categorized or divided into two types of loss. That is called direct cost of the accident and then indirect cost of the accident. So what is the direct cost of the accident? You see, cost which are the measurable cost which you can easily calculate arising directly from the accident, maybe insert or uninsured. Now insert and uninsured cost we will understand later, but try to understand this first. Direct cost. So direct costs are like the cost which is easy to calculate after the accident, meaning that there will be a numbers like hospital bill. So hospital bill or the machine damage or repairing cost will be having some bill. So numerical value may be like suppose $10,000, $10,000 repairing cost of the workplace. So it is measurable, right? It is measurable. So $10,000 will be the direct cost, repairing cost or damage cost, sick pay or legal fines. Legal fine is also a direct cost. So legal cost will be one of the direct loss. You can easily see that legal fines will be having some numerical value that like in India, maybe suppose it is a 5 lakh or maybe 15 lakh penalty or fine, whatever. So 15 lakh, but indirect costs are like it is calculatable, but it is difficult to calculate. Those which arise indirectly as a consequence of the event. Someone's microphone is on, please mute your microphone. So now they are often difficult to quantify precisely and may be hard to identify. So it is actually calculatable but difficult to identify the indirect cost. So the indirect cost could be the reputation damage, okay, no? Reputation damage, correct? Could be indirect cost, could be the loss of worker resulting, like worker got, worker got injured, now he's on a sick leave, right? So productivity loss, correct? Productivity loss. You will hire a new worker, so that will be another cost. Then indirect cost could be goodwill damage into the eyes of the customers, correct? Customers will be not purchasing your product because you will not be able to deliver the product on time because of the accident, because accident investigation will take some time. The accident investigation, sometimes the government body, they will shut down the factory for 2-3 days, 5 days, 7 days to investigate properly, and then that 7 days your factory is lost, then you will not be able to deliver the purchase order or job order to the client, to the customers, then customers will not do the business with you because you will not be able to deliver the item on time according to the agreement. So goodwill damage, reputation damage into the government or the public eyes, then also shut down, you can say, the standby workers due to the accident, as well as the equipment, due to the accident. So there will be standby equipment and the manpower, because some of the accident causes a strike. People will go on to the protest. The strike will be there, worker will not work. So standby worker and standby equipment will be causing loss of losses. Even due to the accident, production will be lost, right? So they will be trying to give more overtime to cover the loss happening to the accident. So providing too much overtime to recover the loss happened due to the accident will be another cost, indirect cost. So lots of indirect costs will be there. Direct costs are like easy to calculate, like hospital bill, legal fines, or sick pay. Sick pay you will give, so that will be sick pay, slip will be there. So into that one there will be a numerical value, so you can easily calculate. So direct costs are a cost which is easy to calculate. Indirect costs are a cost which is difficult to calculate. Now when you are comparing the cost between the direct and the indirect cost, the direct cost will be lesser than the indirect cost. It is also, according to the experts, it is also said that the indirect cost will be 8 times. How many times? 8 times greater than the direct cost. 8 times. So if the direct cost is 1 lakh rupees, then what will be the indirect cost? Who will tell me? If it is 8 times greater, who will tell? If direct cost is 1 lakh rupees of the accident, then what will be the indirect cost of the accident? If the direct cost is greater, is 8 greater than the direct cost. Anyone please type in the chat box. 8 lakh. Yes, Nabil. Nabil is able to hear me. Yeah. So it will be 8 lakh rupees. 8 lakh. So in the same manner, you can say that if the direct cost is 8 lakh rupees, then 8 times greater, it will become 64. 64 lakh. Now, so let's go to the other slide. So direct costs, some examples are written over here. Okay. So first, treatment cost is a direct cost of the accident. Repairing to the damaged equipment and building is a direct cost. Easily you can get a repairing bill, then you can calculate how much loss happened. Then damaged product, so any product which you have, in record that what is the value of that product, and if that got damaged into the fire or any kind of accident, then you can calculate that how much value was that value was there for that product which got damaged. So direct cost. Fines and legal fees and all, so that will be calculated. So legal fines and all will be easily calculated. Right now, even the hospital bill, hospital expense will be the direct cost. Indirect cost, meaning the cost which is calculatable but difficult to calculate, difficult to measure. So reduction in staff morale, so worker will be losing their morale, meaning workers' morale will be decreased, or you can say worker trust will be decreased because of the accident. So productivity loss will be there, right? Productivity loss. Worker will not give the full potential. As well as high stay there and all. Then damage to the public image and business reputation will be damaged and all. That is indirect cost. So you cannot calculate the business reputation damage, how much it costed the money, right? It will be difficult. So once the reputation is getting damaged, then you will not be able to imagine how much loss will happen. People will not purchase your the product. Even the client or the customers will not be giving you a job order. So it will be like resulting into a huge loss actually. That is indirect cost. The loss of staff from productive duties. So if the worker is getting injured, bed rest, then that particular area of the workplace will be missing of a worker or the staff, and then that productivity will be lost. So it will take time now to recruit a new worker, right? If you recruit a new worker and put into his place, it will take time. So that is also indirect cost. So you see some example of a direct cost and indirect cost is written, but overall both are what? Loss, right, or cost. Whether it is a direct or indirect, right? Whether it is a direct or indirect, these are all cost from accident, right? Tell me yes or no. It is only that it is categorized into two types of cost. Correct? Tell me, reply into the chat box, everyone. I believe that you are all okay and listening to me. My voice is loud and clear. Whether it is a direct or indirect, these are all. Please tell me, reply in the chat box, everyone. Yes. Now, these are a loss, right? Direct and indirect, both are a loss. From what? From accident. And indirect cost, there are some insert cost, okay? Insert okay, there are some insert cost out of this cost, okay? Out of this both cost, these are all cost, but some costs are insert cost and some costs are uninsert cost, okay? Uninsert cost, but there are some insert cost and then there is some uninsert cost. What is the insert cost and what is the uninsert cost? Try to understand. Okay, so you see, these are the costs, okay, whether it is a direct or indirect, these are the costs. Some of the costs can take some insurance, insurance policy. That if something happens, then the insurance company will pay the compensation. Meaning, insurance company will pay the compensation to the cost which happened. Meaning that organization is transferring the risk to the insurance company. So there are a few insert costs such as like a hospital expense. Now tell me, medical insurance do you take or not? So insert cost are the cost which is recoverable by the insurance company. In the easy way you can understand. You can take organization can take an insurance policy. So if something goes wrong, when there is an accident, there is a hospital bill or something, that hospital bill will be covered up or recovered. That expense will be recovered from the insurance company. So this hospital expense will be the insert cost. Okay, insert cost. Hospital bill will be the insert cost. Any plant or equipment damage due to the fire, that will be also insert cost. Okay, now. So if the fire accidents or any accident happens and the plant or something, the equipment or machinery is getting damaged or property is getting damaged, then that property damaged that property damage, that property damage cost will be recovered from the insurance company, because you will have an insurance policy for that. Then also the compensation, compensation given to the injured person. So compensation given to the injured person